What's up, everyone? Welcome to episode number 454 of the Action Movie Guys podcast. I'm your host, Nate, and my co-host is
Alex Figueroa.
And we are also joined by our third member. He is Scott the intern. Scott, say hello to everybody.
What's up, everybody?
There he is. Now, I know for a fact that this movie we're going to be covering today is a first-time watch for Scott the intern because we just told him about it, and we'll talk about it a little more when we get to that part. But the movie is The Book of Eli. Now, this is Denzel Washington. That is our other theme. Last week, we did Out of Time. This week, we're doing 2010's The Book of Eli, a post-apocalyptic set story that is directed by the Hughes brothers, which I'll get into some fun facts with those guys. I don't have that many. This movie doesn't have that many. But Alex, you have seen this movie before this review, correct?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. And Scott, first, had you heard of it and just never seen it, or was it like totally blind?
I've heard of it and just never seen it.
Gotcha. And we did force you to buy it.
Mm-hmm.
We did.
We said, you're probably going to like it. Just buy it.
You want to laugh? You know how I watched this movie? It was a blind buy at Best Buy. I was like, oh, this looks actually pretty good. So then I picked it up. And then we put it on. I was like, oh, this is really good. I was like, hey.
Yes, I saw this at the theater. And then I bought it in a Blu-ray Steelbook back when Best Buy was pumping them things out. Like, they were like $10 each. It was fantastic. Okay, so we're going to talk about this movie in just a second. Before we get to the critic score, let me give you some fun facts. Now, again, this movie came out in 2010. It was directed by the Hughes brothers. Now, if you don't know the Hughes brothers, they are twin brothers, Albert and Alan Hughes. They only directed a few movies together, okay, as far as their filmography. They directed Menace to Society. That was sort of their big debut movie, Menace to Society. Then Dead Presidents, which fits right in, another one, kind of a street movie. They did a lot of those like kind of hood movies. Okay. Then they directed From Hell with Johnny Depp and Heather Graham, which is a Jack the Ripper movie.
Was it good?
And it's pretty good. It is pretty good. And then there was a 9-year gap. And then they made this movie in 2010. And since then, they have not made a movie together. They have each done some separate films. Alan's sort of biggest movie to date is the movie Broken City with Mark Wahlberg and Russell Crowe. Albert's biggest sort of movie that he did was a movie called Alpha, which is that one where it's like that kid and the wolf or whatever. Neither of them have had the same success separately as they did together. However, I read that they're not feuding, but one of them, they don't live in the same place anymore. One of them lives overseas. And so their relationship is, I don't know if we'll ever get another Hughes brothers movie, but they came in with a lot of style. That was sort of their thing. Like these guys, they got a very, very unique style to them. So that's that. Now, the only other fun facts I could find on this movie was, and this was kind of interesting because I never even heard of this crap. So this movie has action. Obviously, we're going to talk about the action. It has martial arts sort of action. That was a guy named Jeff Imada who came in and did the choreography for the complex fight scenes, which feature a Filipino martial art called Arnis or Arnis. I don't know how to pronounce that. But Denzel Washington trained for months for the fight scenes in this. I didn't even know the Filipinos had their own martial art, but it's in the Book of Eli. That's the one that they're using. So I thought that was a pretty good little fun fact.
I will say this. After watching the John Wick is pain with two directors trying to do one movie, I could totally see why the two brothers is not doing other movies together. I mean...
And imagine you're doing it with your twin.
Yeah, and the thing is, you're commanding the set. So if you say one thing and then the other brothers, well, this is the way I see the vision. I mean, I guess it works because they work with the Russos. They did the Marvel and look like they have great chemistry. But maybe they could be one of those guys that one is a visionary and the other one's like try to, you know what I mean? Like they butt heads, but wow, that's pretty interesting. I mean,
well, they did butt heads, and they butted heads with some actors and rappers because they had notoriously had a feud with Tupac Shakur when he was alive. They got in a fight with Tupac. He was gonna star in Menace to Society, I think it was, and he didn't like the role. There was this big fight. They actually took him to court and won, and he had to go to jail for 15 days for getting in a fight with the Hughes brothers. So they were kind of volatile, I think. Anyway, they're from Detroit. You know, these guys, they came from like, so, they came from a tough part of the country. We'll just say that much. So, but interesting that they were able to make feature films as interesting looking as they are, coming from what they came from and fighting everybody. So, there you go. All right, let me give you these Rotten Tomato scores because I'm interested to hear your guys' opinions on this film. Book of Eli. This has a 46% critic score on Rotten Tomatoes. 46. Flip the numbers around because the audience score is a 64%. So it's just over the fresh line with audiences and below for critics. Do you find these numbers interesting, Scott?
I find them surprising, like just in general, because I've heard of the Book of Eli. When I was telling people like, I'm gonna be on the podcast, we can watch the Book of Eli. You can watch the Book of Eli, and I'm like, yeah, and they're all hyped about it. And you telling me what is a 64% audience score? Where was the hype? What happened here?
Yeah, I agree, Alex.
I agree with Scott. I'm very shocked, and especially for a Denzel movie. Lead movie, even with that, and
with Gary Oldman in it.
Yeah, Gary Oldman. Yeah, it's a very good cast, right? So I don't know. It's a very shocking thing, to be really honest with you, Nick. I'm very shocked with a 46. Because this movie, and I'm not giving my scores away, I can literally say this movie is better than half the shit that we did.
That had higher than a 46?
That had higher than a 46. And that is not a classic movie.
Yeah.
But shit that is like normal, that is like, oh, it's a 70-something, and then we review it. I'm like, this is not even as good. This blows it out the water.
You know what's crazy? I agree with both of you. I saw this at the theater in 2010. I agree. Scott, my experience is the same. Every regular person I know that has seen the Book of Eli likes the Book of Eli. I don't know anyone who doesn't like it. Personally. I'm sure they exist. But I don't know anybody in my life who's like, oh, Book of Eli, don't like that movie. Not good. So it's maybe they didn't go to Rotten Tomatoes and write a review. Maybe they should, and then it'll bring the score up a little bit. But who cares? You didn't come here to talk about those people. You came to get our opinion on this movie. We're going to give it. Scott, I'm going to throw it to you first because you've never seen it and you're the guest, and that's the order we go in. Our lead character, Eli, played by the great Denzel Washington. What did you think?
Give him a 5. He was... he's a very righteous man. He's got, layers to him. There's some war that happened. I don't know if I wasn't paying attention or if they explained it better, but
they don't say specifically.
And he's, got the Bible, I guess. And it's a very valuable piece of information because people have started people preach that and they get power over people. He carries it around. He's very righteous. Mila, what's her name? Mila Kunis. Yeah. She's like the prostitute trying to get in his pants for, Gary Oldman's guy. He's like, no.
Being forced to, by the way.
Yeah, exactly. He's like, no, we're not going to do that. We're going to read the Bible.
Like, okay. Get out.
Yeah. So
we're going to pray. We're going
to read the Bible. Yeah. But yeah, I loved him in this movie. I gave him a full-on 5. He's a righteous dude. He also kicks your fucking ass, man. He's a Bible-thumping, card-carrying NRA freaking swordsman is what he is. And I loved it.
Got a crossbow. Or no, a bow and arrow.
He's got a shotgun, bow and arrow. He's got a handgun. He's got a freaking machete type thing. He's ready to fuck you up. I give him a 5. Yeah, I loved it.
I like that. All right, Alex, what do you got?
So I'm very torn because the movie doesn't give you a lot of backstory of Eli. First of all, was he blind?
Yes, that was like the twist.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. So he was blind. Yeah, so that's the thing. Like, I want to know because a lot of people in the movie was blind. The females were all blind also. So I want to know.
That's why everyone wears those goggles because...
Could it be radiation?
I think the sun is, I think it's like blinded people. So.
Okay, so like again,
I don't know if he was always blind.
I wanted to see a little backstory with him if he did get blind, but then again, it takes away the twist. But I just wanted to see something of the character, how he learned how to fight. Maybe that doesn't matter how he, whatever. But I mean, because this dude. Awareness is crazy. I mean, even shooting. I mean, dude was pinpoint accurate. Shot dudes in the roof. Like, he knew where they were.
Yeah.
So that's action. But what I'm saying is like, I just want to see how he honed his skills. That's one thing. But anyway, other than that, Scott said everything. He's a righteous man. When he had a task, he had a mission to do. But when bad things happen, he had to equalize them.
He had to equalize.
So like he had to go away from his mission and save people, and he was very he was doing God's work, but in a weird, mysterious way of fighting. I guess you want to say it. I liked him. I thought he was really good. I gave him a 5 because I think he had great chemistry with Gary Oldman, and I'm talking about like the character himself, like him in front of the bad guys, and him with Mila Kunis. I think they had great chemistry. And I say Mila Kunis was very good in this movie. I thought she was going to be bad because I was like, oh, I don't remember. But then I was like, wow, she's really like a good actress for someone that came from that 70s show. I was like, okay, she's really good. So she sold the part very well. So kudos. I give it a 5.
Yeah, at this point, I think she was still pretty much known for comedy.
Yeah.
So it was like a different role for her, and I agree. She was good. All right, I agree with the very first thing you said, and that I'm so torn on this character. I've seen this movie a bunch of times. I don't know how many, but probably more than both of you. Well, definitely more than Scott. Probably more than you two. Like, I've seen it a lot, and I always find something kind of like new or interesting in the story and things like that. But I struggle with the lead in the sense of the same thing. Like, you don't really know anything about him other than his name is Eli. He's going west. He has a mission, a calling from a higher power, from God to do this, right? And they never show you how that happened, when that happened, where that happened. They never show you the blind aspect of it. You don't find out to the very end when he's reciting the Bible and they zoom in on his eye and you could see it's kind of like that kind of foggy look that blind people have. So you can't even really add that in till the end. I mean, it's a great twist to me. I always thought that was such an interesting twist. Like that the whole thing, the Bible's in Braille and no one can read it except the blind lady. And she's like, I ain't reading that thing because you lost my daughter and all that. Like, oh, it's so good. But at the same time, I always have questions with him. Now, the performance is great. Denzel's fantastic in this movie, and he's still thoroughly interesting. But you know what? I'll be the low man. I gave him a 4 because I always wrestle with that, like those little things. But I agree with everything you guys said, and I love I think his chemistry with every single person he meets in this movie is very good. So yeah, I gave him a 4. I feel a little bad about it, but I'm going to stick with it. Yes. Okay. So let's go to our main villain, of course, Carnegie. He's played by the great Oscar-winning. We got 2 Oscar winners in the lead roles here. Gary Oldman, which, Alex, we've seen this guy as a villain in Fifth Element. Yeah. We've seen him as a villain in The Professional. We got him again as a villain here. What did you think?
Oh, he's a 5. I mean, hands down, he's a 5. Well, first of all, let's look at it this way. Now, again, another character you don't know much about. You just know he owns that little place in the town, right? He's like if you want to go through Mad Max, he's the guy with the smoking, was it something Joe?
Morton Joe?
Yeah, Morton Joe. Yeah, like he's like him, right? You do stuff, you get water, he's sending people out to find the Bible. That's exactly what he's doing. He's sending people out to find that one book that he could talk smack and pretty much make people believe and do his work. It's a very weird thing, and I don't know if you guys are going to agree with me. And I don't read the Bible much, but it's very biblical. Like, Denzel Washington is kind of like one of the, like, Moses or whoever the hell it is, right? Going to the West to bring this Bible, and you could really look at Gary Oldman as the devil, like, literally trying to get the word to do something. Like, I felt like it was very spiritual. It's weird to say, like, good and evil. It's a very good and evil movie, and Gary Oldman did a great job in this movie. He tried to give him ass, and he's like, nope, I don't need ass. I'm going west. Like,
we're gonna pray.
Yeah, when we pray. Like, he's like, I don't need this. And
I
need
need some Bible verses.
Yeah, and I thought that was, I don't know, I just felt like it was pretty, and I love how he tortured the blind lady, and then it came to bite him in the ass at the end when he's dying off of a gunshot because he was so into this book. He got shot at the same time, which was kind of funny. I was just like, oh boy. I loved when he was like, did you wash your dirty hands? He's like, yeah, I used your good soap.
Remember, he gets that little bottle of shampoo for Flashdance.
Yeah.
He's like, you smell this? It's this shampoo. It's like washing her hair. And then he treats her like dirt.
Yeah, he treats her like yeah. So I don't know. I felt like, and everything came. Even when he got what he needed, everything still fell apart. Which is like it's still a message to that too. Like, so I thought it was really good. It worked very well. So Gary Oldman, I gave him a 5. I thought there was nothing wrong with that character. It was good.
Right on. All right, Scott, what do you got?
I gave him a 4. I love Gary Oldman. He's my favorite actor. But however, my view is forever tainted because I've seen him I feel like he's been a bigger bad guy in other movies. Like this one, I feel like his performance is slightly dialed back and he could have been way more over the top and he's not. And it just it brought it down just a little bit for me, just based on his other legendary bad guys that he's played. I still love him though. I think he's great as the character. He always gives a solid performance no matter what. But I feel like he could have pushed the pedal a little bit further to the floor. I gave him a 4 for great, but it's not his best in my opinion.
Right on. Okay, this was another one where it's like I'm gonna agree with one of you. Actually, on this one, I agree with Alex. I gave him a 5, and I agree with what you're saying, Scott. I factor that more into performance because I agree with you. Like, even like The Professional, he's so insane in that movie with his drug and his weird like thing that he does where he looks at the ceiling and going like this. Like, it's very unique and interesting and weird. This is not a weird character by any means. He's done a lot of weird characters. A True Romance, he's weird as hell. He has dreadlocks. He talks like a black guy. I don't know what's going on there. Here, he's pretty straightforward. However, I gave him a 5 because, one, I do think the performance is still great, but I just love the counterbalance in this story to the lead character. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. He is looking, and there is a little special feature. This, I mean, you could count it into this overall story. The Hughes brothers on the Blu-ray, there's a special feature where they say they're huge fans of graphic novels, and there's a prequel, like, motion comic for his character when he's a kid. Mm-hmm. And it shows him in his house. His mom would always send money to like a televangelist, and his dad beat him, but he was wearing like a cross necklace, and he would always hear these people talking in church. And that's kind of where in the back of his head, he's like, I know if I get this thing, I could control people with it. He wants the Bible because they burned them all in the after the war or whatever, because they said it was a religious war pretty much, and there is none. He wants it so that he can control the people. He wants to, essentially, this is a good and evil story. Denzel believes in the power of the good of this book. He wants it for bad. Same book, both know its power, one good, one bad. And I think he's really great in this. He's ruthless. I mean, this dude chases these guys like nonstop. They get ahead, he catches up. He kills them old freaking the Harry Potter people. That's Dumbledore and that big lady from Harry Potter. Remember that tall lady? That's the other teacher. Mm-hmm. It's a Harry Potter reunion, this movie. So they die. Their house gets turned to Swiss cheese. He doesn't care. His partners get killed. He don't care. The girl, he's like, let him go. I don't care. I think he's slightly more interesting than Eli, which is why I gave him the 5 and Eli the 4. So yeah, 4.55 on the villain. We're off to a great start here. Let's talk about some action. Scott, what do you got in the action department here?
So in the action department, I got a 4. I think it's got solid action in it, but a lot of the movie is, the journey. It's them together, traveling, trying to get away from him. You get really cool shootouts in it. You get the awesome sword, or what is that thing he carries? Like a machete?
Yeah, it's a machete.
Yeah. Oh man, he kicks so much ass with that thing. It's not, I wouldn't say this movie is like, it's got really good action in it, but it's not a full-blown action movie per se. Like, it's got violence, it's got fighting, really cool scenes, especially where they blow up the house and everything like that. But it's more of their journey to get away from him and fight him off and get to the mission that he's trying to do, rather than just like nonstop balls to the wall action all the time. So it's great, but it's not a 5. So I gave it a 4.
Fair. All right, Alex, what do you got?
Well, it's very interesting with this one, because I was in the seesaw in this one too. I was like, man, it has great action scenes, but technically it's not much action in this movie. It was more like Mad Max 1, where Mad Max 1 was just storytelling, and then the chase scene, and then you got a few chase scenes here and there with Knight Rider. But I landed on a 4.5. Ooh. I don't think it's a perfect 5, but a 4.5, I think for me it serves well, because you got great action. I mean, the scene in the tunnel when he's like, if you touch me one more time, I'll cut your hand off. And he just straight up cut the hand off.
Like in the darkness.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like that. I was like, that's dope. Then you got the scene with the bow and arrow when he sees Kunis, and then the house. They run to the house. The bar. Yeah, the fight in the bar.
People in the bar.
Oh, yeah. So you got some set pieces here and there. But at the end of the day, Scott said it's a journey. It's pretty much, he's trying to bring the book to, whether he's dying, he's just walking his ass to the West so he could tell people the book. And I liked it. I thought that was really well. So I gave it a 4.5. I think it was, and Denzel's a very good action star.
Oh yeah.
So I gave it a 4.5.
Yeah, we're all on the same wavelength here. I gave it a 4. I think kind of what Scott was explaining was it has great action in short spurts. They're really short.
Yes.
The action scenes are short, but they're really good. They're really, this movie's right up my alley. It's full R-rated. Like, you're getting heads chopped off, hands chopped off, faces smashed, people getting shot. That house scene is awesome when they just pull up and just machine gun in that house like crazy. They got like, I got guns, and he opens the couch and he's just got like artillery in there. You got bow and arrow, machete, handguns, and it sounds like everything I just said. This thing must be action packed. It's not. Each of those scenes is like 2 minutes, shorter. The tunnel, the one Alex is talking about, like maybe like a 30-second action scene.
Yeah,
but it's really cool for 30 seconds. The bar fights maybe a minute, but it's awesome. It's very well shot. You're right. The choreography, that Filipino martial art, whatever that crap is, cool, great. It's martial arts. The Mila Kunis bow and arrow scene, it's literally two people getting shot with an arrow. Like, it's cool. They get shot and you're happy that it happens, but it's quick. The longest set piece is kind of that last chase scene. The house and the chase scene, that little like the car chase scene, which are both very good, but maybe 5 minutes. So like you're talking maybe in a 2-hour movie, 10 minutes of action, honestly. But that 10 minutes is very, very, very well done. And it hits. That's the key. It hits. When it happens, it hits. And so that's why I gave it a 4, because it's executed so well. If this had 20 or 30 minutes worth of action scenes, it would be one of the easiest 5s I could give, but not the case. So 4, 4.5, 4. All right, let's get to that storyline. Alex, what'd you think?
Oh, that's a 5. And this is why, like, even if there's a flaw, I can't find it because I was so immersed into the movie. I thought it was very well done. The way the characters meet each other was very well done. I wasn't bored at all. I was not even bored once. I didn't feel like it was dragging at all. The action was so much, it was so perfect, sprinkled at certain parts that I just felt like, okay, this is cool. It just guided the movie, you know, even when he got shot. And you know what's really weird, that even watching this movie, they gave you the belief, him doing miracles. Like when that scene with the gun firing and they shot at him and he got hit with the bullet and he got up and he continued walking. And you're like, whoa. And I was believing, I was like, whoa, this dude is, the book is protecting this guy. I mean, then Gary Oldman shot him, which is again, he's the devil. So he shot him and you saw the lightning hitting, crashing, slow motion falls. And I was like, this is so artsy, but beautifully well done. And I love the gray shot. I love the gray contrast throughout the whole movie. It looks very gray and silver.
Yeah, they definitely use some filters to make that sky look like that.
Yeah, I loved it. It's like a semi-silver, black and whitey looking movie.
There's parts where it's almost green, looked like a green tint to parts of the sky. Yeah, it was interesting.
Yeah, it's a very interesting color palette, and I liked it. I was like, man, this is really good. But storyline-wise, I thought everything fit perfect. And now, I wanted to say, this movie was budgeted at $80 million. It does not look like an $80 million budget. It looked like it was like a $20 million budget. Now, maybe Denzel cost 40.
Oh, yeah, he was commanding big checks when this movie came out.
But worldwide, it made $157 million. So it was a successful movie, which I'm very shocked we never got a green light of a sequel of Mila Kunis going back to get her mom.
Taking over, yeah.
So, which...
It definitely ends like that's what's going to happen.
Yeah. But anyway, with that said, I gave it a 5.
Fantastic. All right, Scott, what do you got?
Story-wise, I got a 4. Now, I really enjoyed the story here. I was sucked in basically pretty much everything that Alex said, but there's snippets that are missing. I want to know more about the war that happened. I want to know more about Eli's character. I want to know more about the bad guy's character. Like, there's so much more story they could have explained a little bit better, and I would have pushed it up to a 5. But since they left it out, like some of the times I was watching the movie and I'm like, shit, am I missing something? Like, did I just like blank out or something here? Like, what the hell is going on? And then now it's just they didn't explain it, so had to give it a 4. Not a perfect 5, but a 4.
All right, 5 and a 4. Okay, this movie they do drop you right into the world. Yeah. There's no, it's war happened. This is a post-apocalyptic movie, and I've seen other ones where it's the same sort of thing, right? Like it's just, hey man, there's a nuclear war or something. Here we are. It's dusty. You know what I mean? I love the story of this. Since the day I saw it, I love the twist of him being blind. I love that the Bible's in Braille. I love that the villain lives and technically gets what he wants and doesn't get what he wants because he cannot read it. That's one of the best things ever. For the villain to go through all this, lose men, all his people are dead pretty much, gets what he wants and sits down. They freaking open the thing, can't read it. There's no words. And then you never see him again. I kind of love that. I love that Eli actually achieves his mission. The whole thing with him memorizing it, like, okay, look, this movie, if you're not religious at all, I feel like there's still something there for you. If you are, or even somewhat familiar, I think it works great. Like I grew up in church and things like that. I think it's crazy that a big budget R-rated Hollywood movie got this much sort of religious stuff in it, and it's painted and it shows you both sides of the coin. And that's what I like about it. It's the whole, this book, he believes people it can do great things for people. And Gary Oldman, he's right too. I mean, there's a lot of people who have used that for money, power, fame. And I think it's great that it shows both sides. It does pick a side in my opinion, but I like that it shows both sides. And it's perfectly cool with me. I gave it a 5. I really, really think the storyline is great. I agree with Scott on some of the backstory stuff. I think I agree with it about the Eli. Like, I want to know more about him. But overall, I've always, the main reason I love this movie is, and it's great for repeat viewing. Like, when you watch it again, you'll see stuff or notice things. I do think God was protecting him because first of all, that guy's shooting, he's just standing still and he misses. Like, straight on. Then when he does shoot him, it like just nips his backpack. Then and then the guy, he can't see and he's hitting headshots. Like you said, Alex, on people on the rooftops, like, it was divine. He does get shot by Gary Oldman, but he doesn't die. And he's able to still get there and give the whole thing, and he dies after, which makes me, I love it. I think it's great.
After he finished rehearsing the book, when the guy finished writing the book, he died. Like, then that was it. Mission
accomplished. What he was supposed to do, he did. He dies, and then you get Mila Kunis going back, and I love the ending too. I love the whole movie. I think it's great. So yeah, I gave it a 5 as well. All right, overall, Scott, what'd you think?
Overall, I gave it a 4. I thought it was great. I'm really into the movie. Just like you were saying just a second ago, I do feel like this has the potential to go straight up to a 5 after maybe another viewing or two, and I catch more things that I might have missed around the first viewing. But as for right now, it's a solid 4. I enjoyed the hell out of it. It was very good.
Do you regret us forcing you to buy the Blu-ray?
No. I mean, I'll get the 4K when it comes out, if they drop a 4K of it. I will say, I do have a little nitpick. I was not a fan of the gray filter.
Oh, so what Alex thought was cool, you didn't like?
I feel like it would have been more cool if they had more saturated colors like in Furiosa.
Oh, no.
Orange and red? Rather than that.
Just like kind of blown out colors of everything. I mean, I would say at first I didn't like the gray filter very much. I still like iffy about it, but I was definitely okay with it by the end of the movie. Like, once I got into the story and everything, I was like, okay, this is fine. But I wouldn't like it. If
you haven't seen this, if you're listening to this and you haven't seen it, to Scott's point, Furiosa, Mad Max Fury Road, very bright, vibrant.
Yeah.
This movie very washed out. Looks washed out, looks
desaturated.
It looks white almost at times.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's almost black and white.
But it almost looks black and white at times. So it's a different look for this style. So I'm in the middle. There's parts where I liked it and there's parts where I didn't like it. It just depends on the scene. My TV was, I don't know if it was just my TV. It was struggling with some of the dark scenes. Like, it was like, I was like, dude, I need a new TV. It was like, it was having a hard time. You could see like that thing of where it gets like darker.
Yeah.
But then like, when they switched to Mila Kunis, it tried to get brighter quick. And I was like, oh, this my TV don't like this Blu-ray. So anyway, I'm in the middle on that. But okay, a 4 overall. Alex, what do you got?
I would say this in terms of what Scott was saying. I wouldn't mind it with those color palettes, but the problem is if you do, then everybody will compare the Book of Eli to a Mad Max movie straight off the bat. They'll be like, oh, is it Denzel in a Mad Max?
It would lose some of its uniqueness.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, but Furiosa and Mad Max both have the Chrome edition. That's like black and white.
Yeah, but that's a franchise though. Like, if you see Ballerina, is the same color palette as John Wick because it's in the same universe. Like the movie is.
No, Scott is saying that they released black and white versions of the new ones, like with no color. No coloring.
Right? No. I know what it is. Yeah. No. I'm saying, but I mean, if you put this with the blown out orange, it'll feel like it's a part of a Mad Max universe. You go, oh, okay. I was like, I could see Mad Max just driving his Interceptor.
I could see that. It would lose what makes it itself.
Yeah, the uniqueness of the thing. I don't know.
I mean, I like it because you know what? Underworld looks like Underworld, and I hate that crap because it's blue.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I guess it's like
where he's coming from.
The director's styles.
Pretty much, yeah.
At the end of it. But anyway, what were we up to? Overall, I gotta say this movie is very, it's so weird because you can take so much, whether you believe, like you said, you believe in Jesus, whatever. I feel like this thing is like a Twilight Zone episode. Like Gary Oldman prayed to get this book and he got the book, but he didn't like specifically say he needed it in English. You know what I mean? Like,
he was a bad boy, so he got a bad version of it.
Exactly. Like, you know how you signed the deal with the devil? You say, I want $1 million, but not how you get the money. Is you got the money. You know what I mean?
Be careful what you wish for.
You lose all your limbs.
That's exactly what I got the message. Like, he wanted the book so bad. he never bothered to even think of like whatever. He got it, he opened it, and it's like it's in Braille. So you're like, oh shit. Like,
and that lady said,
yeah, the lady was like, I ain't helping you. And then they ripping up his bar. A lady's getting raped like down the thing from him. I was like, Jesus. But anyway, yeah, I give it a 5. I think this movie could be, you could watch this on Easter Sunday. That's how religious this movie is. You can literally watch this on I don't know. I really enjoyed this movie. I thought it was really well done. Like Scott said, if this comes out with a 4K, I'm buying it, hands down. I think it deserves a 4K. And my other favorite scene is when the lady says, I'm going to make you a couple of sandwiches. And he goes, it's time to go. She's like, why? He goes, do you see any cows around here?
They ate them.
Yeah. He was like, do you see any cows around here? He goes like, those are human meat. And
what's in that sandwich? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That
I wanted to know what was in that tea. That thing was like, they were like, I was like, nope. I would like to drink that shit. Like, no.
They're like, oh, it's so good.
Yeah, they were like, this is so, yeah, but that was so funny. But yeah, I gave it a 5.
Yeah, okay, yeah, I love this movie. I already said it. I'm a big fan of the Book of Eli. I read a little bit of the snippets on the Rotten Tomatoes reviews. A lot of people didn't like the religious stuff, of course, or they said it was undercooked. I don't know. It hit for me. It hit for Alex.
Yeah.
It hit mostly for Scott, too. Like, I thought it was well done. I wish this had more special features. I did watch them, and it has a cool little, like, making of the story, but it's only 10 minutes. Like, I could have watched like a 45-minute, because they got like professors talking about theologians and all. Like, I was like, dang, I would like to hear more of that, but it was 10 minutes, so it's not that in depth as it could have been.
You know what's weird? What's weird about what you said about the snippet about being too religious? It's really stupid because people love the Matrix and Neo's Jesus. Like, that's the whole thing of the Matrix, right? Like, he's Jesus and Morpheus is John the Baptist. And
yeah, it is. Yeah. But this is more overt, I guess, because they're referencing a specific book and religion. You know what I mean?
I guess. I don't know.
And you remember at the end, he puts it next to a Quran, a Torah, when they're at the printing, Malcolm McDowell's character.
Yeah.
He puts it next to all the other religious books.
Mm-hmm.
But I agree with you, Alex. I think it's dumb.
It is. It's stupid. I never understood arguments with that. Like, again, that's a conversation another time, but I just feel like I never understood that blurb with a lot of people. It's too religious, but then it's like, oh, The Matrix, oh, it's okay. This is the best movie ever.
Oh, it's so good.
Yeah, it's like, oh my God, I love it.
Neo Jesus, I love that.
But I don't like
part 3 where he goes up on the cross like this and he's dead. Like, oh, I love that.
I don't like 10 Commandments.
The Book of Eli.
Because 10 Commandments is way too religious. Like, okay.
10 Commandments.
Too much Moses in that movie.
What's going on here? Like, guys like fake.
Yeah, so it works for me. I think it's fantastic. I love the action that's here is great. I don't need it. There could have been no action. I would have still gave this movie the same score. I'm not lying. It wouldn't have done as well on this podcast because it's an action podcast. But I'd still love the movie because I love the story and characters. I agree. Great cast. Everyone's great. Gary Oldman's fantastic. Ray Stevenson as like his henchman guy, the bald guy.
Oh, yeah.
He was really good.
Yeah, he's really cool. He just wants the girl. He's kind of creepy a little bit, but then he dies. That's what he gets. Again, you got Dumbledore, Big Lady, Flashdance, Meg. Everybody's in this movie. They're all fantastic. I like that. And Denzel, I forgot one part I forgot to mention. I'll just put it in here and I'll give my score. I always liked the part. And see, I didn't really notice it that much until this watch. So first you have that lady who keeps trying to trick him. You know, she's like, I need help, please. And it's a guy so they could rob. Mm-hmm. Then when Mila Kunis comes later and she's like, get out of here. Like, I need a man, not you. And then she knows. But there's the part where those biker guys, they don't show it, but they rape that lady, they kill the guy, and then they kill the lady. Mm-hmm. And he doesn't stop them. And he's up there and he's like, stay on the mission. Not your concern. And it's so interesting of like, he knows the Bible. He could have helped. He chose not to. And I feel like it made me like think. So any movie that makes me kind of think, I gave it a 5. But again, I love this movie before we did this review. this is like Scott's Bad Boys 2. I love it anyway. This rewatch didn't make me like it any less.
And there was that other scene too with the blind lady that was bringing him something to drink, and he goes, "I love the way you smell." And she said, I didn't hear what she said because it was so low on my, I couldn't blast it because of my kids, but she said something to him that only someone blind could, because remember, he didn't put as much scent on her, and he goes, you smell really good.
It's like what she noticed. She probably was like, this guy's blind.
Yes,
but they don't tell you. You know what I mean? And like even the scene where he fights them in the dark, it's like, why would he back into the? When you go back and when you know he's blind, you notice a lot of stuff.
Yeah,
which is why it's cool on a rewatch, Scott. I think it's like,
you will like him more.
As a twist, the second time when it's not a twist, it's kind of cool. He does a great job of he never looks anybody in the eye, really. It looks like he's looking, but he's never like staring someone straight on in the eyes. Even the guy at the bar, remember they're talking? He's just kind of like looking. He doesn't even look at him. He's like, I don't want no problems. He's like, that's my cat. You shoot my cat.
And then he slammed his face on the table. And then he turns around, puts the bag down. And the thing I like about the style, you know what it is, the fighting style of the Filipinos, Kung Fu, is that it makes you look like you're seeing. So like when he was fighting them, it looked like he was straight up fighting them. But in hindsight, his sixth sense kicked in like Daredevil. Like he knew where everybody was at. Like the dude behind him with the axe when he threw the guy in front, and then he took the axe and she said stop, and then I was like, oh.
Yeah, as far as post-apocalyptic movies goes, this is one of my favorites.
Yeah.
5 for me, 5 for you, 4 for Scott. Love it. Scott, what is your total points?
My total is 21 out of a 25.
Ooh, that's very good. Alex, what do you got?
24.5.
Dang, that's also great. I have a 23 out of a 25. Love this movie. Think it's great. Always struggle with the lead of what I want to give him. Maybe I'll give him a 5 after my 8th watch. I don't know. Maybe he's just a 4 for me. But yeah, I think this is a great film. If you haven't seen it, I know we do spoilers on this show because most of the movies we're doing are freaking 15, 20, 30 years old. Doesn't matter. Do yourself a favor. Watch the movie. It's very good. Yeah, I also, Alex, to your point, the sound on this Blu-ray is horrible. It's low. It's like, it's not good. It needs a new audio mix. That's what it should get a 4K just Dolby for that. I don't know how good it'll look in 4K because of the filters, but the audio is bad. Okay, Book of Eli, a big success now. Next week, Scott, the intern, will be back to review Bad Boys for Life, the third entry in the Bad Boys franchise, and the next, and we moved some movies around, the first of 2 Denzel team-up movies, a movie called Safe House, which is a film he did with him and Ryan Reynolds. That's the team-up in this one. I have not seen this since the theater. I don't even remember if I liked this movie, but I remember liking it at the theater. Also, I liked everything Denzel was in pretty much, so we're going to find out if that movie, have you guys seen that one?
No.
I brought it on Blu-ray. It's like a Blu-ray, but it looks like a DVD view book. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the steelbook was tall for it. That was back before they made a G2 steelbooks, which are the Blu-ray.
So I have that steelbook, and I'm with you on this. I don't remember if I liked it or not. I remember I hate Ryan Reynolds, but I'm not a big fan of Ryan Reynolds, like as an actor, but I don't remember if I liked the movie as much.
You know what I remember more than the movie? I remember the trailer for the movie because it had that Jay-Z and Kanye song, No Church in the Wild.
Okay.
And I distinctly remember the trailer and being like, I want to see this movie. This song is good. This movie's got Denzel in it. And then when I saw it, I don't remember what happens. So we'll see. I remember the trailer more than the movie.
The only thing I remember, and I don't know if it's the ending, it's they're in the house. I remember a white door open. That's all I remember. I remember a white door open. Someone's body.
White door.
I don't know what. I don't know whose body's on the floor, but it's like one of the others looked like got shot, and then the other one was there. That's what I remember, and that's bad because I.
Well, no, that's good because this will be like a first time watch.
Yeah, it could be
pretty much. It's a first time for Scott. It's my second, but it's gonna be my first. I literally couldn't tell you anything that happened.
Yeah, I can't help you.
All right, fantastic. So that's what we got coming up on the next couple episodes.
All right, Scott, you got anything to say?
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for having me. All right, guys. You guys want to follow us in our social media accounts? Please follow Nate over on Instagram at Netflix Reviews. Check out the podcast with him and his friends called Netflix Movie Reviews. Anything Action Movie Guys, head over to youtube.com/Action Movie Guys. Subscribe, leave comments on your favorite episode, and take us on the go with the Action Movie Guys podcast, available on all podcast platforms. And he is your host,
Nate from Netflix Reviews.
I'm his co-host, Ash Figueroa. Be awesome to each other and geek out.